Alert 3.
3 Turkish citizens are being watched illegally crossing the border into Canada along a neighborhood road monitored by U.S. agents at the Swanton, Vermont Border Patrol station.
Alert 1.
Canadian police are waiting to arrest them on the other side. If they crossed at a normal point of entry, they would be turned back. But by crossing illegally, Canadian law allows them to seek asylum.
So you can look right here, you can see the foot sign, the tracks that people make.
Agent Brad Brandt says in the past 6 months, more than 5,000 people from around the world have made the illegal crossing into Canada.
People are entering the United States legally with a visa, a tourist visa, into JFK. They're taking a bus to Plattsburgh, New York, and a taxi to the end of the Roxham Road.
Roxham Road has been used by smugglers for decades and is one of several points in the Swanton sector that has border agents alarmed.
For a lot of regular.
The U.S. Mexico border may get most of the attention, but after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, many experts warned a terrorist may be more likely to enter the U.S. from Canada.
You need to consider that it might be easier for that person to enter into Canada and move himself through Canada versus entering into Mexico and trying to travel through Mexico himself.
Like the southern border, the U.S. northern border with Canada has thousands of kilometers of wilderness. There are also urban areas that present unique problems, like Derby Line, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec, a town split in half by the border.
I believe it was 2009 these gates went up, closed these roads.
Stephen Hennessy, the agent in charge in Derby Line, says the border was drawn inaccurately before the age of modern GPS technology.
Neighbors, family, they're on both sides of the border, but they see themselves as one community here, so it's...
After 9/11, townspeople were required to cross through a nearby secured point of entry. Derby Line's Haskell Library was a compromise. The border runs through the building, and townspeople from both sides wanted access to the library.
The compromise was these flower pots here that guard the road. People are allowed to walk back and forth across the border here to go to the Haskell without being inspected, so that's another one of our challenges here.
Controlling who crosses the almost 9,000 kilometers of border between the U.S. and Canada is a daunting task. Agents rely heavily on technology, such as this camera mounted on a tree that is triggered by motion. The camera watches over a cemetery located on both sides of the border, which is often used by traffickers smuggling people and contraband into the U.S. Agent Brad Brandt says the technology is useless without the boots on the ground to back it up.
Our technology will tell us if there's an intrusion, but it just tells us there's an intrusion. It may tell us as a person has come across. We may be able to identify that, but until we actually can go and talk to that person, and if they're illegal, arrest them and identify them, until we identify that person, we don't know who they are.
Jeff Swicord, VOA News, near Swanton, Vermont.